Most people move through life like petitioners for worth, oblivious to the signal they constantly emit. They dilute their standards. They over-justify their choices. They narrate their lives as if pleading for approval. All of it rooted in a comforting fantasy that if they are patient, agreeable, and good enough, the world will one day compensate them fairly. This belief is false. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago, hidden between his lines on power and control. Nothing of value is rewarded simply because it exists. What is abundant is ignored. What is easily accessible is disrespected. The moment you make yourself cheap, the world assigns you a discount, rack identity. In the ruthless economy of power, influence, and money, price has little to do with your actual skill or financial status. It is dictated by perception, and perception is delicate, constructed through silence, distance, and intentional scarcity. To be expensive is not to be wealthy. It is to command desire. True luxury is never pushed. It is inferred. Before you attempt to convince a client, a partner, or an audience of your worth, you must first learn to behave like something not everyone gets access to. Acting expensive, especially when you have nothing, is a discipline. It has nothing to do with cash and everything to do with the scarcity heuristic, the cognitive bias that makes the human mind inflate the value of what is difficult to obtain. Machiavelli knew that value does not rise from merit. It rises from control. In an age of constant exposure, endless posting, and chronic availability, the person who gives themselves away loses leverage. The one who withholds gains gravity. This is not philosophy, it is neurology. The brain stops releasing dopamine when reward becomes predictable. We do not crave what we fully understand. We crave what escapes us. This is the foundation of every dominance hierarchy. You've felt it yourself. Someone who is always available becomes invisible. Someone who responds too fast loses intrigue. A product sold everywhere loses prestige. Attention is a marketplace. Oversupply collapses value. If you want money, respect, or influence, stop optimizing quality alone. Learn to regulate access. You can be financially broke, yet treated as rare, if you project scarcity. You can lack formal power, yet command presence, if you know when to withdraw. Absence, when timed correctly, outweighs constant presence. Being expensive is mastery of mystery. The weak believe exposure creates desire, so they reveal everything. They empty themselves publicly, hoping to be noticed, never realizing that desire is born in what remains hidden. The strategic mind leaves gaps, blank spaces, silence, and in those spaces, other people project meaning. The wealthy don't sell objects, they sell permission. Study those with real power. They rarely announce their moves. They don't chase validation. They don't justify prices or explain decisions. They let ambiguity do the work. The human mind fears what it can't decode, and it compensates by assigning higher value to the undefined. Silence from a strategist is worth more than speeches from the desperate. Distance becomes the brand. They don't disappear completely, but they never surrender access. They become an enigma, and the world pays just to understand them. Consider luxury environments. No one rushes you. No discounts scream for attention. Everything is quiet, cold, intentional. Staff may even ignore you. That subtle exclusion triggers something primal, the feeling that not everyone belongs here. In that moment, expensive stops being a price and becomes an emotion. People operate the same way. Your energy sets your price. Being expensive is not arrogance. Arrogance exposes insecurity. Being expensive is precision. It's knowing when not to speak, when not to respond, when to let time stretch uncomfortably. Your time carries an unspoken cost. Every time you lower yourself out of fear of losing a deal, a person, an opportunity, you lose it anyway. Money, respect, and desire follow the same rule. They move toward those who do not visibly need them. This is the paradox. Need repels. Self-sufficiency attracts, even when it's partially staged. The environment adjusts to the value you project. Machiavelli would say it simply: the one perceived as necessary no longer needs to explain himself. If you can engineer the image of being a rare, specific resource, the world will circle you. If you chase validation, you become a beggar. The discipline of being expensive begins internally. Stop explaining your price. Resources do not flow toward desperation, they flow toward certainty. Doubt leaks through body language, tone, timing. Others sense it instantly. The costliest mistake people make is negotiating from scarcity. They accept less because they fear losing everything, and in doing so, they confirm their low value. The strategic individual waits. They endure silence. They refuse to compete in fear-driven markets, say no cleanly, disappear when expected to speak, withhold when others overshare. Do not offer yourself where there is no demand. Be selective with time, words, and presence. Make every interaction measured. Limited, intentional. People pay more for what feels scarce. Even with nothing, you can project non-need, and that alone changes how the world treats you. The game of money is not won by those who give the most, but by those who control access best. Brands understand this. Leaders understand this. Manipulators have always understood this. Now you do too. Make them see you as an exception, and they will pay for you as a privilege. Those who beg for attention end up useful and forgettable. Never confuse the two. Being expensive has nothing to do with achievement. It is about creating the atmosphere of success before success arrives. When you simulate value, reality rearranges itself to confirm it. When you display need, the world exploits it. Everything originates from the same source: perceived rarity. Every word you speak, every reaction you offer, every explanation you volunteer broadcasts a signal about your price. The wise never chase validation. They understand that silence, mystery, and distance are leverage. Look to ancient rulers. They moved slowly. They did not answer everyone. They did not explain themselves. In their world, slowness was authority and indifference was sovereignty. Today, surrounded by constant exposure and noise, the one who knows when to disappear controls the story. Value is not in what you do, but in what others believe you are capable of doing. Be expensive even when you are not, because money obeys perception. Master the illusion, and wealth will follow your outline. Do not compete with those who beg. Create a market where you are the reference. Do not announce your price. Force others to estimate it. Do not offer yourself to the first call. Let access require silence, restraint, and certainty. There is more power in that than in 1,000 speeches from someone seeking attention. Remember this difference. The beggar and the millionaire can dress identically, but their energy is priced differently. One asks, the other chooses. One needs, the other permits. Being expensive is not stored in your wallet. It resides in your bearing, in the gaze, the calm, the restraint, the decision to speak or not. That is where your price is set. Learn to administer it, and the world will treat you as an investment rather than an expense. A person's value is not defined by what they own, but by what they can afford to lose without shaking. Machiavelli understood this completely. Power is not built by accumulation. It is built by selection. Whoever clings to everything becomes enslaved by everything. Whoever can strategically renounce becomes feared, and nothing is more valuable than what commands respect. If you want higher pay, deeper respect, and real influence, renounce the urge to be approved. Need is the cheapest signal on the market. Show hunger, and you receive crumbs. Show calm and you are offered the feast. This is not mysticism. It is the mechanics of desire. Money, power, and attraction behave like fire. They are drawn to air, not dampness. Chase them, and they retreat. Create distance, and they intensify. Being expensive, even with empty pockets, means refusing to negotiate your posture. It means not chasing what is not ready for you. Whoever runs loses leverage. Whoever waits controls it. The strategist does not pursue outcomes. He provokes them by mastering rhythm, reaction, and energy. In a world screaming for attention, the silence of someone who knows their worth becomes deafening. You can be surrounded by ruins and still project abundance. Respect does not come from tailored suits. It comes from a body language that says, "I am not in a hurry." Haste signals poverty. Those who rush reveal that time owns them. Those who move slowly demonstrate ownership of it. The one who knows their value does not justify themselves, because they understand that silence creates discomfort, and discomfort is power. Here is the truth few understand. Value is not built with words, but with limits. Your boundaries are your price tag. If anyone can access you, if you respond to everything, if you say yes to what weakens you, the market will price you as cheap. Boundaries are not walls, they are signals. Signals that say, "I am not for everyone." Even unspoken, that message is felt. It is a frequency. Machiavelli observed that wise rulers never distributed all their favor or affection. Total accessibility dissolves desire. A crown loses its shine the moment it becomes too reachable. Respect is born from distance, not warmth. The same law applies to you. If you want respect, stop seeking sympathy. If you want value, stop trying to be liked. The world does not pay for what it loves. It pays for what it fears losing. In business, love, and life, the pattern repeats. Those who give themselves without strategy end up depleted. Those who offer themselves selectively become desired. This is not cruelty, it is emotional intelligence. Managing your energy yields higher returns than any investment portfolio. People unconsciously measure your internal control. When you do not rush, do not panic, and do not collapse under rejection, you project dominion. And dominion is compensated. There is a trap the Nava fall into, mistaking availability for humility. Misunderstood humility is economic suicide. Machiavelli warned that those who seek love before fear do not last. Today, that translates simply those who try to please before establishing value will be exploited. You do not need arrogance. You need elegant inaccessibility. Inaccessibility creates interest. Constant availability creates indifference. Speak less. Reveal fewer plans. Guard information like currency because it is. Every detail about you has value. Every secret given away without intent is a loss of leverage. The strategic mind lets results speak. The less others know, the more they imagine. And imagination inflates price. Most people crave recognition, not realizing recognition kills mystery. They display achievements, relationships, numbers, lowering their value each time. Rarity is valuable because it is unseen. Not everything must be revealed. Being expensive means controlling information, deciding what is visible and what remains concealed. That duality generates respect. The world is not divided into rich and poor. It is divided into those who impose their value and those who wait for acknowledgement. One group writes the rules. The other follows them. Act expensive, even before you are, and the environment will recalibrate. Invitations become fewer. Questions become sharper. Eyes observe quietly. That silence is confirmation that you have shifted levels. Money does not create value. It amplifies what is already there. If you are cheap in posture, wealth multiplies your cheapness. If you are expensive in presence, money becomes a servant. The transformation does not begin in the bank account. It begins in the mind, the walk, the gaze, the ability to endure emptiness without begging for validation. Every moment you hold silence, without seeking approval, deposits value into the ledger of perception. Being expensive is not pretending. It is mastering suggestion. Suggestion is the language of power. Whoever implants an image in the minds of others controls behavior without force. Make them imagine you as something not easily obtained, and the battle is already won. The mind does not separate the symbolic from the real. Project authority, and authority answers. Here is the final paradox. To be expensive, you must stop searching for buyers. Markets smell desperation. Urgency devalues everything, even people. If you do not set your price, others will set it for you. Be the one who decides. Be the one who looks without anxiety. Be the one who can afford to wait and silently know, tomorrow, I will be worth more. That sentence is never spoken. It is transmitted through posture, calm, and restraint. Control is the highest currency. Control of time, control of words, control of impulse. Control turns an ordinary individual into a symbol. Stability attracts investment. No one invests in instability. Even if your inner world is collapsing, maintain control. That alone makes you expensive. Feign solidity not to deceive, but to direct perception. Machiavelli never spoke of hollow appearances, he spoke of psychological positioning. The mask is not a lie. It is armor. In a world that devours exposed weakness, appearing valuable is self-defense. If others perceive you as expensive, they handle you with care. If they perceive you as cheap, they will consume you without remorse. How you are treated is not accidental. It is a decision you make long before the interaction begins. That is why, be expensive even when you are not, is not arrogance. It is survival. Respect is never requested. It is imposed, quietly, calmly, without the desperation to be understood. Let them underestimate you. Let them exhaust themselves proving their worth. You do not compete. You sustain your price. Patience is the highest return on power. Wealth does not belong to the most gifted, but to the most disciplined in waiting. To those who do not collapse at the first offer. To those who understand that value matures when rushed pressure is resisted. There is no haste among those who understand power. Only calculation, coldness, dominion. Being expensive is the refusal to justify yourself. In an age of noise, restraint is royalty. This is not a temporary posture. It is a survival philosophy. Most people beg for recognition instead of building presence. They believe value emerges from diplomas, titles, visible achievements. But value is atmospheric. It is a controlled impression. It is how you enter a room, not what you explain inside it. It is how you behave when no one is watching that determines how you will be treated when they are. Human beings instinctively respect what respects itself, and instinctively devalue what is easily given away. That is why a person's price is not measured in currency, but in limits. Being expensive means saying no without commentary. Every yes spoken to please reduces your value. Every delayed refusal out of fear discounts your worth. The self-respecting individual does not justify himself. Respect is not negotiated. It is enforced by presence. Machiavelli understood this clearly. A ruler who begs to be loved has already weakened his throne. A merchant who pleads to be chosen has already lost the sale. A man who begs for affection has already revealed his leverage. True power lies not in having everything, but in behaving as though nothing is needed. Wealth is not abundance. It is control. The one who controls himself controls the exchange. Master your impulses, your reactions, your emotions, and you become rare in a world ruled by reflex. And rarity is always expensive. When you refuse to react to provocation, the other loses dominance. When rejection does not shake you, the other begins to doubt their influence. That doubt is currency. Control the rhythm, and you control the interaction. Being expensive means every movement is intentional. Do not speak to fill silence. Do not explain to avoid misunderstanding. Do not defend what does not require proof. Defense signals insecurity. Excess persuasion destroys credibility. The powerful understand this instinctively. They do not argue price. If it is not met, they withdraw calmly. Strategic withdrawal is refined domination. People fear losing access to what they perceive as valuable. Scarcity is power's native language. This is not empty indifference. It is turning attention into privilege. The moment your time, energy, or words become difficult to obtain, the world recalibrates around you. Supply shapes demand. Universal access kills necessity. Selective availability creates desire. Observe empires. Observe dominant brands. Observe influential individuals. None of them are powerful because they are superior. They are powerful because they are inaccessible. Luxury is not about excellence. It is about exclusion. Rarity precedes value. You do not need more output. You need less availability. The expensive individual does not compete. He observes, times, and chooses. While others scramble for visibility, he controls tempo. And whoever controls tempo controls desire. The impatience of others becomes his leverage. Let them rush. Let them overshare. Let them negotiate against themselves. You remain still. You will know precisely when to act. Being expensive also means withdrawing at peak interest. Disappearing before familiarity dulls impact. Machiavelli warned that predictability kills authority. Mystery sustains it. When you are constantly present, you become background. When you choose when to appear, you become an event. Power is not omnipresence. It is precision. This applies to language as well. Speak less. Charge every word with weight. Let each sentence feel costly. Cheap people speak reflexively. Expensive people speak deliberately. Excess is poverty. Overexposure collapses scarcity. Influence evaporates when you give yourself away without restraint. Power is elegant because it is reserved. It gives just enough, and no more. It lets imagination outperform reality, because the imagined always exceeds the revealed. Many fail here. They confuse humility with exposure. Humility is not displaying weakness. It is not needing to display strength. The self-mastered individual does not explain himself, and that, in Machiavellian terms, is the genesis of respect. Respect requested is fragile. Respect induced through mystery endures. Being expensive is becoming a profitable ambiguity. Let others wonder whether they need you or fear losing you, whether you are reachable or already gone. That uncertainty keeps them orbiting. Desire does not crave clarity. It craves stimulation. Study apex predators. The lion does not roar endlessly. He roars when silence has already established dominance. His presence enforces order. That is how your energy must operate, controlled, compressed, without urgency. In a world addicted to attention, calm is intimidating. But understand this: being expensive is not arrogance. Arrogance repels because it leaks insecurity. Controlled silence attracts because it signals confidence. Being expensive is not contempt, it is selection. Selection defines value. The cheap is available to all. The expensive is reserved for the few. Every time you invest energy where it is unearned, you dilute your brand. And you are a brand whether you acknowledge it or not. Every interaction reinforces a perception. The first step toward power is not acquiring wealth, but elevating standards. Change the standard, and treatment follows. Yes, it will cost you. Some will leave when access is restricted. Some will resent the boundary. That is the fee. Respect costs solitude. Independence costs rejection. Dominion costs patience. You cannot be expensive and universally understood. Gold does not mix with mud to gain approval. Let it separate naturally. Machiavelli would say this power seeks permanence, not approval. Only the expensive endure. The cheap is consumed, replaced, forgotten. So even with empty hands, behave as if you are difficult to replace. The world responds to projection. See yourself as common, and you become inventory. See yourself as exceptional, and you become an investment. Being expensive is psychological training. It is learning not to react from fear. Understanding that not every opportunity merits response. Not every compliment deserves attention. Ignoring the irrelevant strengthens value. Choosing silence over impulse raises your price. Those who do not rush generate intrigue. Intrigue matures into respect. The secret is this: be inaccessible without vanishing. Be present, but not available. Be seen, but not owned. That symbolic distance is where power grows. Desire, like wealth, requires friction. Make it easy and it becomes vulgar. Make it challenging, and it becomes valuable. So remember this. Do not compete to be seen. Compete to be remembered. Do not exhaust yourself trying to please. Learn to inspire scarcity. In the economy of power and money, the one who presents themselves as cheap becomes replaceable. The one who carries themselves as an exception becomes the standard. Value does not live in the crowd. It lives in contrast. And that contrast is constructed daily, in how you walk, in how you choose when to speak and when to remain silent. Being expensive, even before you are, is not deception. It is strategy. It is the deliberate act of shaping perception before outcomes exist. Because the one who controls perception controls the market. And every market, at its core, is psychological. Markets do not sell objects. They sell sensations. They do not buy reality. They buy symbols. You are a symbol as well. Decide what you represent. Gold shines before it becomes currency. You can do the same. Elevate your way of being before elevating your bank balance. When the world senses that your time carries weight, it will begin paying for it. Until then, remember this. The silence of someone who knows their worth outweighs 1,000 words spoken by someone begging to be valued. Being expensive, even when you are not, is not a pose. It is positioning. It is understanding that every interaction, every glance, every word is an energetic investment, one that yields return or loss. The naive give their emotional value to anyone who asks. The astute guard it like capital, because every release has a cost, and the one who fails to calculate it ends up depleted. Human relationships operate under an invisible economy: affection, attention, respect. Everything is exchanged, even when denied. The one who gives without measure impoverishes. The one who regulates accumulates. Machiavelli did not speak of love as innocence. He spoke of it as leverage. He understood that the strongest bond is not passion, but controlled attachment. Being expensive in relationships is not coldness, it is comprehension. Presence gains value when it is not guaranteed. The most common error is believing unconditional affection is noble. In reality, what has no conditions loses worth. Love, loyalty, friendship, these survive only where there is tension, boundary, and the possibility of loss. Remove the edge, and affection turns into habit. Habit kills desire. Being expensive means placing limits even on generosity. Not to manipulate, but to protect. If access to you is constant, you become diluted. Respect is maintained through distance. Continuous presence devalues, like overprinted currency. Absence reminds others of your price. Observe your environment, workplaces, friendships, families. Those who are always available are always used. Their time is assumed. Their words are ignored. Their generosity becomes obligation. Meanwhile, those who withdraw, who say no, who do not explain, become reference points. Not because they offer more, but because they offer less. The world does not reward abundance. It rewards rarity. Ultimately, being expensive is an act of self-reverence. It is treating yourself as something singular. And once you do, the world mirrors that treatment. People instinctively respond to how you perceive yourself. Move with urgency, and they offer scraps. Move with calm, and they offer terms. Speed belongs to servants. Slowness belongs to rulers. The weak attempt to justify value through visible effort. They overwork, over-explain, overpromise, believing proof will convince. But excess demonstration is disguised desperation. Those who command money and respect do not display, they provoke curiosity. And curiosity is a silent debt. Anyone who observes you without fully understanding you is already paying for your mystery. Master nonverbal power. Do not explain, do not repeat, do not justify, do not rush. Words born from fear reduce you. Gestures born from control elevate you. The visibly rich seek to impress. The truly powerful impose rhythm. Being expensive, even before the results, is daily discipline. It begins in the mind, translates into the body, and settles into the environment. Start small. Do not respond immediately. Do not reveal your plans. Do not apologize for standards. Do not rush to fill silence. That silence is your most valuable asset, because within it, others project desire, anxiety, and need. While they project, you govern. Machiavelli did not speak only of politics. He spoke of perception. He understood that image governs more effectively than truth. People do not follow those who deserve power, but those who represent what they wish to become. To be expensive is also to represent something beyond yourself, an idea, a promise, a symbol. Do not sell yourself as a person. Sell yourself as a concept. Individuals are compared. Concepts are revered. Do not be another individual. Become a reference. When someone thinks of control, let your image surface. When they think of silent elegance, let your presence be recalled. When they think of dominance, let a trace of fear accompany the thought. That is branding. That is power. That is being expensive. And remember, true luxury is not what you possess, but what you can refuse. The beggar accepts everything. The sovereign selects. The ability to say no is the invisible line separating those who ask from those who choose. Each time you renounce what diminishes you, your value rises. Being expensive requires not wealth, but temperance. Wealth disappears. Temperance endures. It is trained every time you resist lowering yourself. There exists a quiet form of authority, the power of the one who knows they can leave. Whoever can walk away commands. Whoever cannot obeys. It is that simple. In negotiations, relationships, work, repeat this silently: I can leave whenever I choose. Even if it is not yet true. That thought shifts your posture, your tone, your energy. Others feel it instantly. In that moment, your price increases. Money follows perceived value. Perceived value follows self-control. Those who earn most are not the kindest, they are the scarcest. The uncontrolled sell from urgency. The controlled sell by selection. Abundance and respect are consequences of internal dominion. If you project expensiveness before reality confirms it, reality reorganizes to comply. This is the paradox. Perception precedes fact. Markets love and power respond to signals, not truths. Emit the correct signal, and the world pays you in advance. Do not wait for success to behave as if you matter. Begin now. Walk as if loss does not terrify you. Speak as if you have already been heard. Decide as if permission is unnecessary. Every gesture must communicate scarcity. Being expensive is not a costume. It is a transition, a psychological shift that precedes visible outcome. First you believe it, then you project it, then you collect it. That is power. That is the alchemy of value. And if doubt returns, remember this: gold was once just a shining stone in dirt. Its worth was not intrinsic, it was collective belief in its rarity. Do the same with yourself. Become rare. Become difficult. Become an exception. The moment you understand that your price is set by you, no one will negotiate it again. You will not need to prove your worth. It will be assumed. That is the silent victory of the astute, the one who seeks not acceptance, but desire, the one who does not chase money, but makes money chase presence. Machiavelli would have summarized it simply: whoever dominates perception dominates gold.